Hello, everyone. Diana Rankin here with our little precious one, Piper, back there. She's sleeping. She's all worn out. We were out playing ball earlier. Excuse me. And it was cold out. So I'm a bit congested just from the cold and then being in the furnace area inside with the furnace on. Anyway, she's doing well and we don't want to disturb her. She may get up and move around. It's time for her to go to the groomers too. Her hair is getting long, but it's so cold out. I hate to cut it. Anyway, enough of that. Hello, Sheila. She says, hello, Diana and Piper. I hope you're doing well with a big gold heart. Yes, we are. And thank you for your love. Right back at you, girl. And she says hello to everyone with a big smile. So it's always good to hear from Sheila, who happens to be in Amsterdam, unless she's traveling. And she is one of our sisters here. So it's always good to see you who can come live. I know most of you don't have the time isn't right for you. You may be at work or whatever, but it's always good to see those of you who are able to make it live. So thank you. Today we have a tough subject. It's why do we suffer? And we have 3 questions associated with that, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I do want to say we'll also get a message from one of my books. It's the Master's Book of Answers, and it's just an oracle book. We just open to any page, and we get our message for the week. And so we'll get that message as well. Juliet says, hello, typing with one hand as my cat slaying on the other hand. Juliet has, she's tried to type with one hand and the kitty's on the other hand. And I think most of us can appreciate that, right? So good to see you, Juliet. Rush, hello, Diana, Piper, and friends. And she's sending us hearts and kisses and lots of sunny flowers. So we have sunshine here where I am in rural Ohio, and that feels good to have sunshine today. And I want to say the wind has calmed down, which is really good. We were having wind. I think there were gusts up to 50 and 60 miles per hour, and it was really noisy and cold. So it's good to have the wind a little calmer today. But we're not, if you've heard about the big snowfalls in Ohio, I'm more south. So we've gotten a little snow, but nothing like the northeastern and the Great Lakes area is getting. So all of you who's getting all that snow, be careful. And I want to say also the earthquake up in Northern California, we're thinking of all of you. There's so much going on right now, and we're going to talk about suffering. That's our topic today. So thank you for the questions. Sharu says, hello, my dearest angel. Well, hello, Sharu. So good to see you here live with us. Okay, we're going to get going here because it's an interesting question. If you do have questions, you can just put them in the comments below and I'll pick them up, or you can email me directly. And also, we will be doing Sacred Circle in December, the fourth Friday of the month. For all that information, just go to my website, and my website's just my name, and that's below as well. Just right below the video, there's some information about me there. You can find pretty much whatever you want on my website, including a private reading, because we, on our YouTube channel, we deal with esoteric questions of interest to the whole audience. So here we go. Why do we suffer? Why do children suffer with horrific illnesses? Why are there wars with so much suffering? Here's what Phillip has to say. As we speak of this, we wish you to know we are only scratching the surface, as one might say. You must look at the depth behind our words to gain more. This will come as you seek and are grown to the place of more depth of understanding. Suffering is merely the opposite of joy. Can you see the brightness of light if you do not know the fears of darkness? Of fears in the darkness, excuse me. As a soul, you put your hand up and said, pick me, pick me. chose to come into human life, and you chose to experience suffering for many reasons. You wanted to experience suffering so you can better understand joy, as we have said. As you progressed through multiple lifetimes, you got caught in the emotion of suffering, and it took additional lifetimes to learn the cave of suffering, or excuse me, to leave the cave of suffering before seeing the light of love and joy. So, one, we experience suffering so we can better understand joy. Two, as we progress through multiple lifetimes, we got caught in that cave of suffering. And it took additional lifetimes before we could leave that cave of suffering, before we could actually see the light. Three, in one or more lifetimes, you caused the suffering of others and have chosen suffering to pay retribution. I guess we could call that karma. But it's by choice. Again, at fourth, at any time you can choose differently, but those who are healers will choose to experience suffering and healing to joy. So if you're a healer, which most of you who are listening to me are, whether you know it or not, you're going to experience suffering, and you're going to experience healing that suffering to the place of joy. In this way, you have the understanding of suffering and the empathy for those who suffer. As souls, you choose experiences you are to have. Children who are ill may choose their illness to understand the illness. I want to just again explain that we choose the energy of suffering so we can then understand it and have the empathy for it. And that's the fourth reason. Let's go back to the children. Or children may have been inflicted with the illness in a life where they left their body. Yes, they could choose to return in a healthy body, but many will not, either out of not knowing they can heal the thinking that caused the illness, or out of wishing to heal in the physical world to help others heal. So, children, what Phillip is really telling us here is we've got to look at the whole span of multiple lives to really understand suffering. And if we're only looking at one life, we probably aren't going to really understand suffering. He goes on to say, when you suffer physically and or emotionally, you have the energy of that experience. Others can feel that energy, which then allows others who are suffering to trust you. Thus, you can help them heal as they trust you. Whether as an adult or child, this is true. Wars are clashes of egos at their biggest and worst expression. When one is responsible for the taking of another life, one must pay the price, as you say, until the debt is paid. This may take multiple lifetimes. Those who participate and those who are harmed in war have chosen the experience before birth. As with the children who choose illness, those caught in wars chose the experience. This knowledge only helps if the person looks at why they chose the experience. Each of you must do the same. You're to ask yourself questions such as, why did I choose my parents? My family? Why did I choose to enter life on the date I entered? Etc. As you ask the questions, receive the answer. As you do, you will begin to understand your soul's mission. It is then you will truly start to heal and to live. So what Phillip is saying here is, yes, we choose suffering. And one of the he gave us the different reasons, the 4 different reasons. And as he's saying, that's really just at the surface. You have to dig deeper. And so he's saying, ask ourselves those questions. Why did we choose our birth date? Why did we choose our families, our parents? Why did we choose our work that we have, I always say I jumped out of my mother's womb, pen in hand. I'm a writer at heart. Words are my lifeblood, and I use them hopefully to help others, to help heal others. But it's also helped me heal because I am a writer. I journal daily, and that journaling has helped me. I have hundreds of articles on my blog, on the website. The videos I make, I use words, whether spoken or written, to help heal. But they first have helped me do a lot of healing. So find that passion that you have. It's in the childhood. You can find it by asking yourself those questions. Why did I choose to suffer this particular experience? As we ask ourselves those questions, the answers come. And as Phillip says, as you ask the questions, receive the answers. As you do, you will begin to understand your soul's mission. It is then you will truly start to heal and to live. My clients come to me because they know I've had the energy, not only of empathy, but I've had the suffering so I can understand their suffering. And that's a lot of what Phillip is saying here. As healers, you want to understand what's taking place. As healers, once you have that energy of the suffering, you can then help others suffer. Hello, Akila. She says, hi, everyone. Good to see you, my sister. All right, here we go. I'm hearing right. If you heard right, we're in sync. That's the message for the week for everyone. If you heard left, pay attention. That's a message you need to pay attention to. So on the right, it's page 219. You do not stop a war by participating in it. You do not stop a war by participating in it. So what Phillip is going back to the wars or clashes of egos at their biggest and worst expression. But he's also saying if we're caught in a war, we have chosen that, to have that experience this lifetime. But that doesn't mean we have to participate in the war. And I think that is really speaking very strongly about what we're going through in our world, but mainly here in the US. You do not stop a war by participating in it. Friends, those of you in other countries, please hold the US right now. Also, while we're holding the US in light, make sure you hold Ukraine, Gaza, Jerusalem, the Sudan. Hold the world in your light. You know how to do that. You know how to do that. Thank you. All right, page 218. I love this. If you heard left, begin by knowing that you know. Begin by knowing that you know. All right, my friends, we are the healers. We will hold the light. We will hold the love, not only for ourselves, but for the world, for each other. You're not alone. We're holding each other's hand. We all came into the world when we came in for a reason. You can find that reason. It's your soul's mission. And it might not be the whole picture. It might just be what I learned. Words. Words. That's my soul's mission, however they're expressed. Whether in writing or in speaking, my words are to help heal the world. What's your soul's mission? Sheila says, thank you, Diana. Thank you, Sheila. And Sheila, you know, your mission is to help heal the suffering of the physical. I love you, my friends. I am so grateful for your love. I am so grateful. Oh, somebody's got a little itch back there. We're going to go scratch it for her. I love you. Thank you. Together, we can create this new world of love. Until next week, thank you. Rush is sending stars and namaste. Thank you. Lots of love. Bye for now.